started with Pick Up at All, and we were in Cologne, and he just said, let's go to a club and meet some people and talk to some girls, and he always was like, his name was George, he always was like, we should make them laugh, that's the most important thing. And I was like, okay, I tried to find out something about her personality. I just talked about her studies in the club when we were there, and after that he said to me, what did you do? I didn't understand what you did, but it worked somehow. She was totally into you. And I did it twice, and after that he told me, you should tell me what you did. And what I'm talking about is, maybe you guys know it, called like comfort. Who knows what's comfort? Okay. How would you define comfort with your own words? Yes, you.
I would define comfort as telling personal information about yourself to convey what you are about and who you are, as a person.
Could you give an example?
For example, comfort building for me would be if I tell you where I'm from, how I was raised, something like that. Okay. What I like, for example, what TV shows I like.
Okay, that's not bad, but I just want to give a little bit deeper background here. Because, for example, if I meet you, we would meet up and we would talk, maybe I ask you what you were, and you say,
I study.
Okay, and I'm a software engineer, for example. Then we both know later, if we talk on this level, we know what we do, what we like, but I don't know at all, for example, what freedom means for you and what it means for you, for me. And it's about to go deeper, not only stay surface, because what moves us, what are our emotions, our motivations and character traits, it's not surface anymore, it's more deep. And I made the experience, maybe you can tell because you're the only women here. I made the experience that, if you want to answer, I made the experience that women, they crave for a deep connection, but they barely never experience it. Would you say that's true? How many times it happened in your life, you would say, that a guy came up and you said, he really connected with me?
I don't know, but not so much.
So maybe 2 or 3 times?
Yeah.
Would you wish it to happen more?
Yeah.
Because my mission is, I want to change that a little bit. And for example, let's say, who wants to make an example with me? You want to?
Sure.
You don't have to if you want. For example, let's say.
That's an example of consent, by the way.
Huh?
That was an example of consent.
Thanks. Yeah, so it dovetails somehow. Right.
So do I need to stand up or like role play?
How you,
or what is it?
How you want, no problem at all at the moment.
Okay, cool.
For example, let's say you meet a girl and she just tells you, I've moved from New York to Zurich now. What you can do, tell about her. I'm gonna help you. If you don't know anymore, I will add some things.
Okay, so she just moved from New York to Zurich.
Yes. What could you tell to her then? Let's assume you just exchange names and then you're at that topic. Oh, what you're doing here? Oh, she tells you, I've just moved to here.
Okay. I don't know. I would maybe ask like, that's really adventurous. Like, where does this come from? Why do you move to Zurich? Why did you feel like coming here?
Okay.
Maybe.
So when you say why, you ask for her motivation, and you say that's quite adventurous. That's a character trait. So that's good because, like I told before, it's about motivation, emotion, character traits. If you want to, you can write that down because that's really important for the topic. Because motivation is, why is someone doing what he or she does? Why did she move here? Emotion is, how does it make her feel? But if you ask like, how does it make you feel? That might be a little bit phony, because it's a little bit fake, and women hate if you're phony. If you're just doing like, oh, I crave for a deep connection, shortcut, let's dive deep. Who are you inside? What motivates you? What inspires you? The women will be like, if you say, for example, what moves you? She will say, my legs, because you're not on that level yet. So don't rush it, that's important.
Okay.
But, okay, and the character traits is who is someone like. To go back to the example, she moved, we can tell, for example, she left all her friends, her family maybe behind. So she might be missing them, so maybe she feels alone because she's here. She's nervous, I'm talking about emotions now, because she doesn't know, will I make it here? What will I face? What missions, what things I have to do? And maybe she's also happy because she made it to come here. That's another thing. And for example, the motivations could be like, maybe there was a war in her country and she has to flee, like the refugees that came to Germany, for example. Or she sees a cultural difference and she says, no, Zurich is very interesting. I read something on Wikipedia. At this point, I want to experience it here. Is it really like this? Are people really like this in Zurich or not? Maybe she heard about that and she wants to meet the people. Or she sees it like this, here it's a better business opportunity because maybe she comes from a Muslim country and couldn't do that at home. And her character traits, like you said one before, maybe she's adventurous because she come here and you need to be brave to do that. And you need to have discipline because I, for example, myself still noticed I have still to do some paperwork for me to be able to stay here at the moment.
Okay.
So we got the huge cocktail of motivations, emotions, character traits, and we can make a great statement out of that and tell it to her. For example, I could say, wow, that's interesting. If you come here and you had to leave all your family and everyone behind, maybe you don't know anyone here, and I don't know if you even speak the language very well because maybe she's Russian, she has to learn English or German, I don't know. And then you say, you must be very nervous, and I think maybe it's a little bit strange and you're scared, but I like that you're so brave to come here. What made you come here really? You see, I'm talking a lot and it might feel strange if you never did that before to someone you don't know. But you can do that really, really soon in the interaction. And I know women don't only like that, they love it. If you do it right and if it's not fake, if you have real interest, if you just think like, oh, I'm trying to say that to her, she might spot like, you're just trying something. But important is not that the statement is right. It's important that it's long enough. If I just say, for example, oh, you're a happy person, and she might say, yes, thank you. That's it. But if you say, have you always been like that? Because I see you got a genuine smile. I love that about you. It's not fake. I hate fake smiles of other people. You see, I don't really talk much about me. I talk a lot about her. And why I don't have to do this, because if I do it right, the women will start questioning me a lot.
And like with what you said there, maybe she thinks that you understand her a bit better. Could that be also a point?
Definitely. And what happened a lot of time is, if you do this, she will even ask for your contact.
Okay.
Many times.
That's cool.
I even made a little bit a bet in Stuttgart when I thought, okay, now I'm lost because it looked like it didn't work. We talked to two girls and I said to my buddy, huge mouth, like, I will show you, it will happen, she will ask for our contact data. And then I talked to the girl, tried to connect with one of them, and then they wanted to go and no sign, like she wanted my number. And then they were already leaving some meters away. One girl came back and said, oh, I forgot to tell you, if you want to see me again later, I'm the waitress in the McDonald's here,
That's awesome.
for example. Yes. Any questions so far?
What do you say? You make these guesses. Like for example, maybe you're nervous. What do you do when she says like, or does it happen often? Does she says like, no, I'm not nervous, or like, no, you're wrong? Or how do you go about this? Because it's also
It's
a bit of
about the
guesses.
statement, about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
long statement if something is wrong.
Yeah. Do you then say, oh, sorry, and correct it, or?
No, because she does. If the
Okay.
statement is long enough, for example, you could even mix it up with a traction game and make a utterly stupid statement, which is very funny. Like maybe you see a girl, like she moves it a little bit like this always while talking, and she's smiling like she would almost burst out in a laughter. Okay, you might say I think maybe you're not really a happy person, but you just choose a cloth you put on your body and it tickles you all the time. That's why you have that some genuine smile now on your face. And she will say, no, that's not really true, and will start to correct you if the statement is long enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's important to know here. It's not important that you get it right, but if you can really practice to do. It's not a cold reading, because if you do it exactly enough, you can tell it. I could make a statement up about you, for example, if we talk, that's completely perfect for you. But if I tell it to him, he will say, "What? What are you talking about? It's stupid."
Mm-hmm.
For example, I like to play music, so you could say, "Oh, is it like when you play music that you get lost, like you're almost in a dream, and you just in your emotions and you feel what you do, and when you stop playing, it's like you're slowly coming back and thinking, oh, I'm really there, it wasn't a dream." If I say that to some other one, "Is it like this if you play music?" He will say, "I don't play any instrument. Huh? What are you talking about?" So it's really individual, and you have really to listen to the person. It's like you're making always a subtle shift from surface to go deeper and deeper. At the beginning, you might talk about, for example, what do you like to do most? Maybe you say, "I like dancing." Or you say, "I like," what's your thing? Playing theater?
Yeah.
Is that your most favorite thing? So many people will ask like, "Oh, when did you play last? How long did you do it?" Right? They ask always this. But for example, who asked you, for example, did that really change you as a person?
That's a good question.
You see, because it's important to learn to make that shift from surface to we talking about your motivations, character traits, emotions, or to interpret them. Any other questions so far?
That sounds pretty awesome, but I see two probable pitfalls.
Yes.
The first might be how do you avoid to get in friend zone?
I always get that question.
Friend zone, or to go into the relationship zone.
It's
Yeah.
that's exactly the two questions that are totally counterintuitive, because you can't get either friend zoned or the other thing if you do it right. Because what you really do is, if you meet that girl, maybe she shows you a little bit of a behavior that's not her real attitude, like she behaves with her family or with friends, okay? And if a man makes the effort to see who is she really, showing real genuine interest, it will create a lot of respect, and therefore another type of long-term attraction. For example, it could easily be like you meet a girl and she has to go in 5 minutes, or let's say, yes, in 5 minutes, but you talk for half an hour and you connect really deeply, okay? And you know she will come back in 2 weeks. She will still be attracted to you and want to talk to you again, directly starting on the level again. So there's no danger to be friend-zoned at all. And the other thing is, with the commitment, you could even tell her, like, I don't want any relationship, let it stay on that level in terms of relationship. You know what I mean? You can also connect deeply to a girl, you know it's only a one-night stand if you want that. That's no problem at all.
I think if you create a deep connection and you have this like clear communication channel, and then, for example, you get aroused and you're attracted to her, you can, because you're on this real level, you can just communicate it. And if she is attracted to you, she will also probably just say it. So you're not hiding that much. I don't know if it's also
Yeah, I would agree. Yes. Would that answer your question?
yeah.